And welcome to another edition of Freetime Interview. I am Fletch. Today joining me on the show is none other than Mitchell the Riot Maverick. And people forget about that Riot part, but
yeah,
it exists. It's true. It exists. Mitchell the Riot Maverick. How you doing?
Oh, good.
I appreciate you coming out to the show today, hanging out with me, answering some questions, of course. Or, you used to seeing us on XCW TV. You see us as characters. Today, we're just going to hang out. I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to shoot the shit. Let's just have fun with it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
All right, first up. Who is your favorite XCW superstar to watch? Of course, you've been to shows throughout many, many different years here. Who has been your favorite person to watch?
Now, does it have to be currently on the roster?
It doesn't have to be currently. It's just whoever you think over the years has been your favorite to watch.
I love Grim Reaper.
That's a pretty common answer.
Yeah, Reaper's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. Grim Reaper, of course, a fan favorite throughout the years. You've been able to work with them in the past as well.
Definitely. Great to work with.
Speaking of working with, who over the years has been your favorite XCW superstar to work with?
Ooh. Right now, it'd have to be with Void right now.
Really?
Yeah, even though we're tag team partners, he's still a joy to work with.
Yeah, I just myself earlier this season got to work with Void one-on-one for the very first time. I always loved Void's work. He's definitely stepped up. He's become kind of a locker room leader. He's always been that kind teddy bear. In your original run, Void was there.
Yeah. And
you guys just now getting to really work together. So how does your guys' relationship change from, back in the day when you guys were together in XCW versus now in your comeback?
Well, I remember our first match together. That first was a no DQ match. The heaviest chair shot to the head ever.
Well,
Hey, first match for him, I can't blame him.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Can't get too mad at him. But from then to now, a whole 360-degree turnaround. He's great.
Definitely improved a lot since back in the day. So of course you've competed on a lot of XCW shows over the year. Back in 14, 15, all the way up through 2023. So, in your opinion, do you have a show that you just find to be the best show? Like, what's your favorite XCW show in history that you've been a part of? Any of them that stand out?
No, what do you mean? You mean like
the actual show itself, like a Summer Mania or something like that? Is there something that kind of sticks out to you that was just like, maybe you had a match on that particular show that you just absolutely loved?
Oh, the show when me and Boyd tag teamed up with against Parsley and
just recently?
Yeah, this last one.
Yeah.
That was actually, I think, my favorite show.
Yeah, Justin and Rob Slater definitely bring something out in a lot of guys. I think working with them this time around has been it's been a blessing, and I hear from a lot of guys, you included, about how awesome it's been to work with those guys.
Yeah, it seems like they've got more ring knowledge, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And a lot easier to work with, since they can make a fuck up look great.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Justin is that kind of guy. Justin and Void worked earlier this season in 2023. And there's a couple of spots that were kind of rough, but both of those guys are so knowledgeable and good at what they do that they both found a way to bounce back and make the match exceptionally good. So let's go back in time a little bit. Of course, you started late 2013, early 2014 season. You were part of the EBW roster in the original version. With that being said, how did you get your start in XCW?
I don't know if you remember, Zach Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Zach.
Yeah. He brought me in, told me to come to one of the shows, and then that's where I met you and to me, the original roster with,
right.
Kurt Acid
yep.
and all them, which they were great. And then I know I had my fall off, but hey, as long as we all bounce back from fall-offs, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the very few guys that were still left here, that were here when you were here the first time, the Corey Lees, the James Cerebrals, myself, we were all super happy to see you come back in 2023 and rejoin us on the roster. And it's been great to have you back, and only good things from here, of course.
Yeah, even though you had to hit me with some WD-40 for that ring rust.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. And, I mean, and honestly, like, if you look at a decade ago, 2014, when you were, full on in the company versus now, I mean, when you look at the 10-year gap, look how much the company it's grown and everybody's ability that's on the roster. Like, it's easy for things to pass us by. I mean, I feel like there's even, there's a lot of things that happen in the ring and a lot of things that the guys can do now that I definitely can't do. So, I mean, imagine being out 9-10 years like you and then coming back into it. It's hard to kind of get a grasp for what we do now.
Yeah, and I feel like I've kind of bounced back fairly quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the more experience that you have in there and the more things you do and the more, training and stuff that you have, and we have a lot of great guys now, it's just going to continue to get better from there. So, we talked about the best show in XCW. You talked about you and Void teaming up going against the real ones. Is there a particular match or a show that you just thought was just the worst thing ever?
Oh.
And I mean, you were one half of the Jaeger bombs with Joker for a while, so.
I'm gonna be honest. The fucking one that stood out that kind of was trash was that whole me and Void going against ACT and I think it was Jackson Law, or was it Evan Phoenix?
Oh, yeah. Okay, with Evan, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of dog water, as we would say.
Yeah, not all of them can be winners, I guess.
It is what it is, but.
So of course, here in XCW, you've been a New Age champion, you've been a tag team champion. But what, in your opinion, is your biggest moment in XCW today? Like, what was an achievement you've done here in XCW that you're proud of?
Even though I haven't won as many matches as I would have liked, even with Void, but I think the best moment is getting that title shot that we had. Even though we lost it was still a good moment. Because I know there's always chances that we can get that shot again, hopefully in the near future.
Mm-hmm. So what was a big turning point for you? Was the turning point of things, obviously when you first start and you're just getting your feet wet in XCW and you're just learning everything, it's easy to be nervous and to go out there and not know what to expect and not know how to react to certain things. Was there a point in your XCW career where you were just like, oh, I get it now, and it was a turning point? Was it recent? Was it your first run? What can you tell me? What was a big turning point for you?
Big turning point was actually doing the tag teams. I've hardly ever been a part of tag teams, like with that one time with the Jaeger Bombs.
Yeah.
But now, it's the main thing, I guess you could say. Now we're getting.
And of course, yeah, we're trying to build the tag team division. We're trying to. That's one thing that I think lacks when it comes to YouTube wrestling or backyard or semi-pro, whatever you want to call us. I think one of the biggest things that lacks in other companies is a tag team division. That's something that XW has to offer that most places don't. And even the last couple of years, of course, the tag team division has really taken a back seat to everything else. And when you have a 25, 30 guy roster like we do now, I know a lot of guys don't like necessarily working tag teams. It's not really their thing. I think even Void himself is like, tags are not really my thing. But he's even openly admitted to me lately, he's like, I've been having a blast with Mitchell. And he's like, being able to kind of help Mitchell along, break the ring rust, and us getting better together in the ring and doing the tag has been a blast. So, I can definitely see where you're coming from on, a big turning point in your career right now being in a tag team. So, because it's becoming a big deal.
Yeah, I know he's mentioned on Sports Wire that it's been a great thing here lately, just working with the knocking the ring rust. Yeah, but I know he's had tag partners that, kind of he had to carry it.
Yeah.
I know maybe my first match doing the tag team since it's been out so long, he had to carry me a little bit. But hey, I don't think he's really carrying me much anymore.
Shit, anybody who tags with me these days has carried me. So I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. So, and part of that is because I mean I've just been doing this for so long and I'm beat up. So, and speaking of that, what's the worst injury that you've ever sustained in your XCW career?
Oh, I think it was from LOL, where he was doing a leg ankle lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he twisted my ankle almost all the way around. And I think it was, what was it?
You hear that, Chris? You do hurt people.
It was, I think it was in a tap out match or something like that.
Okay, like a submission match?
I think. I don't know. It was back when we had the mattresses still.
Right. And
I think it was the same day that Cerebral jumped off the roof.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right.
Yeah.
So on top of that, I mean, talking about James Cerebral, what's the worst injury you've witnessed? Is that it?
Yeah.
Let's say bone was hanging out of his ankle, so
kind of put a damper in the show.
Yeah, a little bit. It was
didn't even get set up.
So a little bit of context for those that are watching that have no idea what the hell we're talking about. So Cold Day in Hell, and this was in 2015. So it's Cold Day in Hell. It's in January, February, something like that. Ground's completely frozen. At the time when we set up the stage, we had our DJ stage, but we also had like stuff that we would rig up top on the roof to keep it from the wind blowing because we had the curtains on the stage. And, you know, if the wind, gust of wind came, it'd blow the whole stage down. So we put bricks and stuff on top of the roof to keep everything stable. James Cerebral that day was the one that was on top tying everything down. And, you know, he's a smaller guy. He's taller, so it's easier for him to get up there and do it. So he's up there and he's tying it all. And he walks over to the corner. He's like, God damn, this roof's huge, blah, blah, blah. And he's up there bullshitting. And Brandon Hobbs was standing on the other side of the roof and on the ground. And Brandon's like, jump, I'll catch you. And he was like, man, fuck, blah, blah, blah. You know, talking his shit. He's G'd up, whatever. So he walks over to the side and he's like, catch me. And Brandon's like, come on, motherfucker, let's go. Well, Emily had said, jump, pussy. Well, then he did it. Well, the thing is that Brandon was no longer there. So he just jumped and he thought he was just going to jump, land on his feet. Well, it's January. So the ground's frozen.
No give.
No give at all.
He didn't bend his knees.
No. He just straight flat foot jumped off the damn roof.
Like
and
you're going into the damn pool.
I mean, you hear his ankle go, and then he just lays there, and his foot's to one side, the rest of his body to the other, with bones sticking out. It was just the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in my entire life. With that being said, has there ever been a time in XCW, other than your, you know, of course, the time that you left there for a little while and you had your own personal things going on, but has there ever been a time in XCW where you're just like, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore? You just wanted to quit?
No, it was more or less me doing my dumb shit, as you know. Yeah. And I think it was Jacoby had just been born. And I honestly felt like, you know, him just being born, I didn't want to be around because that's not a necessarily good thing to bring around kids. Yeah. Not saying that I'd bring it around, but still being all the way out there.
Right, no, I understand, yeah. And I mean, of course, Brandon had his entire litter out there too, so.
Yeah. And, yeah, his entire litter.
Literally. Yeah. Sorry, Brandon, but.
Hey, keep your pants on for now on.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
That child support check would be huge if anybody would something would happen.
Well, flip side to that, this isn't on here, but I'll go ahead and ask you. So, you got the call in 2023 to come back, do Extreme King Battle Royal, and of course, ultimately led to you making a full-time return to the show. What was the driving force? Because a lot of people, you know, they want to be able to come back and have their kids see them wrestle for the first time. I know, like, that's one thing that Justin and Rob Slater wanted to do. They wanted their kids to see them wrestle and perform, as well as, they were doing it for Benji. What was your driving force for coming back?
Well, I had mentioned it to my wife, and she said, I told her, I think the kids would like to come see it. So basically, kid thing, and just out of respect for Benji too.
Yeah.
But as soon as it happened, the matches were going on, and the kid. Well, first it was I brought my boys because my daughter was off at her dad's, and the boys loved it, which led to them down the road getting into the ring and doing their little fuck around
right, yeah. But, that's how it usually goes, yeah.
But, I mean, even though they're kicking the shit out of each other.
What was your initial thought coming back and seeing that ring? Because, I mean, when you left, we were still on mattresses, on the ground, doing our thing. And then you come back and there's 3 rings and a roster of 30 guys. When you left, you're like, shit, there was like 12 and there was mattresses. Like,
there's 12 guys playing 3 different characters.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And hitting a little soft mattress, but you could feel the ground every time.
Oh, yeah. Every time.
Now, every time you take a bump, you get the initial sound of it, but you don't get really the initial feeling.
Right.
So it feels great to actually hit something from now on.
Right. It's not until you get home when you're like, oh, that sucked.
No, it really sucks when you're on the ground.
No, I mean like now in the ring. Yeah, it's not until you get home where you feel it. But
no, I'm saying it's not till when you're on the ground. That's when you really feel it. That taking the suplex on the concrete.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hawkins.
Oh yeah. So you've seen a lot of gimmicks. You've worked with a lot. You worked with the Grim Reapers, the Dorgons, the Jokers, all those crazy gimmicks through the years. What is the worst gimmick you've ever witnessed? And if you say Max Destruction, I won't be hurt.
The worst one I've seen?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say Shane Searle, because I'm not even sure what the fuck his gimmick is right now.
Well, right now he doesn't have one. He's just kind of MIA, but
that could be explain a lot.
But I don't disagree with you. On the flip side of that, what's your favorite? What's the best one that you've seen?
The best one I've seen that actually plays the part, it's a tie.
Okay.
It would have to be Cerebral or Ellis. They do play the part really well.
Yeah, they do. James Cerebral, like he says it. It's not a gimmick. It's a lifestyle, and like that's something that, especially since he started XCW, like I mean, he goes his everyday life going by James Cerebral like that. Yeah. He lives his gimmick like 100%. So yeah, I agree with you on that. So how do you prepare for a match, or do you have any like pre-match rituals that you do to get you into the mindset of going out there and doing what we do?
Just basically go sit in that back dark corner, depending on where we're at, the mainstay or away. Usually mainstay, go in that back locker room area and just chill out for a minute. And then when it gets a couple matches before, I'll go grab Boyd and whoever we're going against, figure our shit out.
So I don't know I don't even know if I've ever recalled you really getting one, but have you ever received a chop, and if so, what was the worst chop you've received?
Of course I've received a chop. I've also given them.
All right.
Oh, the worst one I got. I don't know who the hell
was
did
it. Brandon Hobbs? It's probably Brandon, wasn't it?
I don't know whoever was in that battle royale with the Russian guy and.
Okay.
Whoever hit me in the fucking back while I wasn't looking.
Was it Jackson Law?
I don't know who it was.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was Jackson
because
Law.
not soon after that, I ended up over the rope.
I'm pretty sure it was Jackson Law. So all right,
away gift.
That's fair. Now, what in your opinion is like your favorite finishing move that you've seen performed in XCW?
Ooh. Let's see. I'm trying to think who it was. I want to say, was it Matt Weddington that did his finisher with a broken or a stress fracture?
Yes.
That.
Yeah. The Peruvian cutter, which if you guys are not familiar with some of the XW's older stuff, you can go now. Aaron Blaze does this finish now. So basically, they bend down, he underhooks them. And does a twist, and it's a cutter. And And at one point in the 2014 season, Matt had fractured his ankle, actually performed in this boot for a couple of shows, including defending the XCW title against Brandon Hobbs in a cage match with this boot. So, seeing him do anything with that, he was out there doing Trouble in Paradises with this boot. Yeah. Like, this heavy-ass, like, when you have a broken foot, a heavy-ass boot.
Like, damn near knee-high.
Yeah. And he's out there doing his kicks and his finishes and all that crazy stuff with this boot on. It was insane.
Yeah.
So, obviously, almost everybody who comes through XCW is, at some point in their life, sat down and watched, WWE, TNA, whatever. Who was your heaviest wrestling influence prior to, coming to XCW?
Oh, I like me some Stone Cold.
That's a good one. Hell yeah! Yeah,
kind of goes with the gimmick a little bit too. But.
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm just glad you didn't say Goldberg. So throughout the years, there's been a bunch of crazy matches through the years. The Money in the Banks, there's ladder matches, chairs matches, there's flaming tables, there's all kinds of different match types.
Well, kind of the flaming table. I remember that one that kind of just blew out.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those. What is your favorite concept match?
I do like a no disqualification match. Those are fun.
Plain Jane, huh?
What?
Anything goes.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. So, in the same conversation there, what's the worst weapon shot that you've ever received?
Void's fucking chair to the straight on top, me sitting up. Wow.
I've had a lifetime worth of hard shots.
What? From new guys?
Just period. No. So, in the next 6 months, we're going to be towards the middle of the 2024 season. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months here on the XCW roster?
Hopefully holding some gold.
That's everybody's goal, right?
Everybody's goal, but, some people can make it a reality. I feel like I can make it a reality. There's other people, I'm not going to mention any names, unholy, that I don't think are going to get it.
Fair enough. In your opinion, who is the fastest rising star in XCW? And we've seen a lot of guys, like you've seen the rise of Matt, who, became like an instant star. And then we've got some of them even today, guys like Aaron Blaze and Hayden Vex and Hunter Halkin, guys that just come from nowhere and then they're just top guys almost immediately. Who, in your opinion, has been the fastest rising star?
I think Hunter he's a people's man.
Yeah, he's definitely in that conversation.
Yeah. Hunter's a people's man. And I think really who's going to be next really rising is probably going to be Miano.
Yeah. Miano definitely, he's been here since the 2021 season, and 2023 is the first year that you can really look at Miano and he just screams star. Yeah. Definitely.
And not to mention, what was it? Hunter just gets with the crowd, and Miano, I feel like all the little guys that do all the flippy shit and all that, even though I wish I could do that.
So me too.
I feel like they make the faster rising stars because they're out there doing extravagant moves.
Right.
Whereas bigger guys, the best move we got is running into another move.
Right, yeah.
Freight training them.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I mean, I think the only exception to that rule right now, I think like Jackson Law moves pretty easily in the ring. He moves pretty quick, and then Eric Mason's mind blowing.
Yeah, put him on top rope though and see what long the ropes last.
That's true. So out of all those guys that I've said, all the guys we've worked with in the past and currently, who in your opinion had the best name? Like, what was your favorite gimmick name that you can think of that you really liked?
Oh, the best gimmick name. It's going to have to be Joker Grim Reaper again. Because, one, I like Batman, so Joker is going to be up there. Mm-hmm. And Grim Reaper, just the gimmick all in itself is great. I'm glad he made a comeback, or not a comeback, but a
An appearance.
Special appearance, yeah.
Yeah. He pops up from time to time, whether it's here or he popped up recently in CBW in 2023. So he shows up here and then. So so I know you probably don't know everybody that's a part of this, especially since you've been away. But we can do more current if we want, like newer guys if you want. But who should be in the XCW Hall of Fame or who should be in the Hall of Fame that's not yet?
Well, who's in the Hall of Fame right now?
Well, that's what I mean.
How far
like,
I've been.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so you can just pick like one of the newer guys. Who do you think is gonna hit that Hall of Fame first?
Hawkins, 100%.
Fair enough. So you've come out to a couple different themes. Most of the themes that you've come out to were Mushroom Head songs. Is there a particular song that you've come out to over the years that just really got you pumped up and ready to go?
Not looking back. I've only had 2 songs?
I think so, yeah, 2 or 3, yeah.
They're not cutting it anymore, and I'm looking for a new song.
Fair enough. You're probably due for one. It's been
almost
a decade.
Yeah.
It's been a decade, yeah, and you come out with the same song.
Yeah, it's not good anymore. That's not going to bring people's attention. There's going to need some sort of change.
Out of the 2 Mushroom Head songs that you had to pick from, which one did you prefer? There's Solitaire Unraveling, and then the other one was Son of 7, I believe, or something like that. I think those are the 2. Is there one of the other?
Sun Rise is the other one? Or?
I'm not really sure.
See, that's how long it's been. Probably just the Solitaire Unraveling.
Which would you rather be? You've been both. Babyface or heel?
All right, now I feel like I'm neutral.
Yeah, you kind of are neutral right now. Yeah, I'm maybe leaning more towards the baby side.
I'm just out there doing some shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Do you have a preference though? Obviously, in your first run, you were heel pretty much the whole time. So
I mean, I can be
other than with Joker, you were a baby.
Yeah, I can be a heel when I need to be, or I can be that baby face when I need to be. Basically, I'm either or. It depends on how you guys are going to come at me in a match. So
obviously, we're sitting right here in front of, as James Cerebro likes to call it, the eye that never blinks. Were you ever camera shy?
I think this year's the first time I've actually been on camera doing interviews, promos, shit like that. So, I mean, in the beginning, it was weird. Now, man, it's a conversation.
It's just part of what we do.
Yeah, it's a conversation. The camera's not in there.
Right, yep. So did you have any wrestling experience prior to Zach Washington coming to you and having you join XCW?
High school wrestling. That's about it.
Do you remember a record or anything like what you did in high school?
Pretty even. I think it was like, I know middle school I won a championship. High school it was basically like, say 6-6. Sometimes it'd be winning. It's hard to remember. Too many concussions from
yeah. So when you came to XCW in 2013 and 14, you started training. Who were you trained by the most? Like, who was your biggest influence? Who helped you along the most?
Zach and Matt. They helped me along the most because they brought me in.
And then your head trainer at the time would have been Hazard, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't really work with Hazard except for getting ran over. Flattened. Him jumping on top of me was not fun.
I've been there a couple times. I get it.
Suffocation and no breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like living a Papa Roach song.
Yeah.
So you've been part of teams. You've been part of the stables like EBW. Is there a particular team or stable that you've seen in XCW that was your absolute favorite?
No.
Whether you were a part of it or just one that you've watched.
No.
No?
No, because I'm too busy trying to work on myself, getting my goal. Hopefully get a Sports Wire radio interview one day.
Hey.
Tired of seeing everybody else.
Hey, it'll happen eventually. I'm just going down a line here.
Oh, well,
some of them I have to pull because that's who he wants to see on the show too. So I'm playing ball all the time.
I'm hearing my name a lot on this radio,
especially lately when Justin and Robert on, and then having Void on. Yeah, you've come up in the conversation a lot. So
I feel like I'm coming up next.
Sometime. It's coming soon. For sure, it's coming soon. Well, I think I may know the answer to this, but I'll go ahead and ask anyway. Is there anyone in XCW that you personally do not like?
It depends on the day. Because,
Okay.
Because sometimes, I'm sure a lot of people say DJ Wolbert can be a dickhead. Or, like, if it's his turn to run the camera, he'll start yelling at people. I.e., Eric Mason.
Yeah.
Like that one day, and that was about to be a big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Some days it's just people have. I mean, I get it. Some days people have their bad days, but just to do that.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, everybody tries their hardest to try to pull their weight and do what they're supposed to. There are certain couple that I think have issues with being a team player. I feel like, you know, most of the guys, hey, I need you on camera. Hey, I need you on music. You do what you got to do to help better the team and get through the production of the show. And some others, you know, not so much. And so
I feel like if I knew exactly how to run a camera and make a shot look good, I would do it. But I've held these, how much are they? Like, what, $500 cameras?
the cameras that we currently have are
up there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to touch that. I don't have
Say
money like that.
minimal, I think, on the cams that we're using right now are about 12 or 13.
Yeah.
We have multiple, so
I don't have that.
we have 3 in rotation at all times between the 2 main cams and the Showtime.
And I don't have a credit card to cover it.
I don't now that we have these. So
that's what the credit card went to.
Exactly. What's the best storyline that you've seen in XCW? Or a storyline that stood out to you that you really enjoyed?
The one, like, it just had to be one I've been a part of?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, you can give one or the other or both.
No. The one I'm a part of right now, very enjoyable, especially to work with, who I've been working with. Please don't put us with no new people that are going to dog water us. No.
Try not to.
I don't believe that one bit. But Hunter Hawkins' whole storyline, losing was it New Age?
The International to a bullshit ass fucking Leon Lux duct tape. Yeah.
The whole storyline for that, great concept of an open challenge. I have never seen an open challenge before. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about, open challenge. So
yeah, it's been really fun seeing them go back and forth. You know, Hunter had one of the second longest reigning international championship run in company history. Leon Lux, who had never won a championship in XCW, finally comes back to the company after all these years, and he captures his first title. So you get the feel good moment of Leon winning his first championship. But on the other hand, you had a guy who is new to the company, and he's made a huge name for himself right off the bat. And now he loses that championship. So, like, both of them played in so well to each other. And just so everybody knows, if it hasn't already aired, you will be seeing Hunter Houck and Leon Lux in a rematch on Encounters. So, the story is not over between these guys.
Well, I would hope so, because how we lost it was bullshit.
I agree.
And I could win, too, if it was a count to 10 and I'm duct taped.
Right.
I feel like, hey, you gotta knock me out first, then we can call it.
Yeah. So definitely one of the top rivalries of 2023. But of all time, what's your favorite rivalry you've seen here in XCW?
It would be Leon Lux and Hunter Houck all the way, and Unholy and Parsley's little go about for a minute, and Mandy.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
It was fun, but almost got the ring all dirty.
Yeah. So you've got the opportunity to work in a lot of different locations over the years. Is there a particular location that you just think is the best overall?
Depending on the season.
Okay.
When it gets really, really fucking cold outside, away.
Yeah.
Inside. But when it's decent outside and you know we're going to work up a sweat from running around, like, I'd say about mid-60s outside, here would be fine. Unless you want to build another garage.
That would be nice. I would love for that to happen.
Extend out the garage.
Yeah.
But then we would lose our crowd.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, I got a couple more questions for Mitchell. We'll be right back here on Freetime Interview. Here on Freetime Interview, I'm Fletch alongside Mitchell the Riot Maverick. Yes, the Riot is still in the name. We just don't use it as common as we used to. We're rolling through some questions. I got about 5 or 6 more. Let's get to it. So obviously, you know, your characters has changed over the years. You know, initially in your first run, you did the Jaeger bombs with Joker, and you played a drunk, and, you know, Gabe was trying to sober you up so that you could be the monster of EBW and all that stuff. And we've taken a different approach. You're still kind of do some silly stuff alongside Void, which has been a ton of fun. I love it. But I'm sure that that's only going to last for a little while. You know, everything changes and evolves as we go. Yeah. What kind of legacy do you think Mitchell Maverick is going to leave behind in XCW when it's all said and done?
A good, great one. Hopefully try and make it to the big time. Bring you guys out on there too. Have a whole Raw or SmackDown. But I don't think I'm anything like a Dylan Bostic, but don't want to be him. I want to be me.
Right.
I want to make my own legacy, my own name. But I think my name's going to be a big one. Because here lately, like we said, my name's been thrown out on SportsWire Radio a lot.
Yep.
That's one step closer.
That's right. What kind of legacy do you think XCW will have?
Well, from where I was, it was already a pretty big one then. Now, huge.
It's like tripled, right?
Let's, in the words of Tom Bryce, the gold standard.
I agree. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know many
backyard
wrestling
independent anybody that does it what we do.
Yeah, that has a ring. Mm-hmm. Most of them don't.
Yeah. Or even has the lights and the production and the editing and all the I mean, there's a whole writing and editing team here in XCW that makes everything happen. And I mean, a lot of the, like, you were there when it was just me. When it was me doing all the editing, all the writing, everything by myself, and now it takes a whole team.
And you were a cranky motherfucker back then.
Yeah, I was. I'm still a cranky motherfucker, but
not as bad. Now that you have help.
No, it's been nice to be able to divvy out some of the workload. Yeah, because the company's grown so much in the last 10 years, and it's overgrown me. I can't keep up with the amount of production, with the amount of storytelling, with the amount of work that it takes to make all of this happen. I can't do it on my own for sure.
Or make it to show deadlines.
Right. Yeah.
The show's supposed to be done in 30 minutes in the air, and we still got 4 hours worth of work to do.
Yeah, and back in the day, you know,
it'd be like that.
Yeah. I mean, work full time, be a husband, be a father, and then sit in front of a computer hours and hours and hours of editing and planning. And now, luckily, I don't have to worry about, okay, who's on camera for this next match, because that's not my job anymore. I divvied that job off to somebody else, and that's up to them. You know, oh, hey, hey Dale, I need graphics. Oh, hey Ashley, I need thumbnails. Oh, hey, Brady, I need this written. Hey, Chris, I need this written. Hey, Lawrence, I need this idea thrown of what I can do with this person or what kind of finish it is. Hey, Mike, I need this show edited and I need to air it in the next 3 days. So like, it's nice to be able to do that. I still have my own task and my own projects. Freetime interview is one of those projects for myself, but it's great. I'm sure you see the difference in me now versus then. So.
And I know it takes a toll on the whole family life, work life.
Definitely.
Life in general. Mm-hmm. Just doing all that yourself, because you just named off, 6, 7 people with other jobs. Mm-hmm. Now, you doing it by yourself, that shit's not going to get done. Right.
Or it's going to be a less than presentation, because something has to be cut out from what we're doing if it's like relying on one person. Yeah. So it's definitely grown. The more it grew, the more stressed I got, the more
more jobs you had to take or felt like you had to take on.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, this company's become too big for my britches, and it's just how it is.
You're the head of the whole company, but now you got to divvy, just like any other person, got to divvy out. Hey, can you help me out with this?
Yep.
Hey, can you run the camera?
Yep.
I don't think you got 3 hands and stretch that large to make run 3 cameras at once.
That's true. So how has XCW impacted your life personally?
The kids love it. It's a stress relief for me, because who doesn't want to every couple weeks want to kick the shit out of somebody?
Sure.
And basically just the whole dick measuring contest out there. I'm gonna pick this motherfucker up and throw him over the ropes, and it's fun, stress relief. Kids love it. Even though Jackson don't love my kids when they take cookie sheets to his nuts and head and...
Oh, well, it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing to come out of XCW for you personally?
The best thing that came out? Just the name that I feel like I'm making. I feel like I may not have made a name, but then again...
Hey, people didn't forget you. When you walked back through those doors in 2023 after being gone... nearly a decade, there's people that knew who you were that had never met you before. People that were excited to have you here for the very first time. So you've made an impact on people and a name for yourself, for people who have never met you to be like, oh my God, I get to see Mitchell Maverick for the first time. And then people like, myself and James Cerebro, who never forgot about Mitchell Maverick. And when you walk back through the door, it was just like no time had passed. I mean, you and I had a conversation like we talked every day since.
Yeah.
And so I mean that's pretty powerful if you really think about it. I mean, how many of those people that you were friends with in high school that you don't even have that same connection with? You know what I mean?
I don't have any friends from high school except for
fair enough,
Zach.
Fair enough.
And he's the only reason why we still talk is because he's the damn mailman.
Yep.
He runs my mom's mail.
Yep. Does here too.
That's the only conversation I bet you get from him too.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've talked to him. It's like, hey, why don't you come back to wrestling and talk to
I would love it, even if it was just a one-off. I would love to have Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his schedule's like.
So Zach, if you're listening, take a vacation day, come out one night, and have some fun with us.
And I feel like the mail doesn't run on Saturday.
It doesn't. Well, it does now, I guess.
Only till like noon or something like that.
He's got to come. Half black, throw and all. Come on back.
That kind of wears it like a little man bun ponytail.
Yeah, I seen that.
Through his hat. Give him a mailman gimmick.
I'm up for that. What's your proudest achievement in XCW?
Based on the proudest achievement, it's everything here recent. Because, I mean, back in the day, I was younger, kind of stupider, clumsier. Now I'm actually getting in. I feel like putting some quality work in. Putting pride in my own self. How my wife's telling me, you need to get some better gear to match your own shit. And
it's good advice.
Yeah. Not these hand-me-down leggings, spandex things. I mean, it's like, babe, we got 3 kids to take care of on top of...
I think you would look really good in like the baggy shorts. I think those would look cool.
What, like some Janko pop?
No, I'll have to show you off camera.
Yeah.
So where did you come up with your name and character? So obviously Mitchell Maverick is not your real name. The Riot character obviously was something that we come up with. Do you remember how all these things came to be?
Sitting down with you and putting our heads together, figure something out.
I know there for a little while you did the gas mask.
The old Russian World War II
Yep.
gas mask.
Yeah. Remember where we came up with the ideas for any of these?
Just sitting down having a conversation, throwing ideas at each other. And I think one day you just said, "Come over here, we're going to shoot something."
Yes, and we shot it in the alley.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
The whole stop and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite editing projects I think I've ever done. To this day, I still put it over. I still talk about it all the time. Last question, most controversial question on the entire show is, what do you say to people who say that wrestling is fake? Obviously, you've been doing it for years. You know what's fake and what's not fake. What do you say to those that say that wrestling's fake?
For the most part, taking the bumps, the hits, the suplexes, it's not padded.
No.
I mean, you got that what?
You got that real
inch,
Yep.
maybe?
Yep.
And hardwood. And then if you get thrown over the top ropes, you're hitting metal.
Yep.
What pad's there? No, it's the edge of the ring. It's metal.
Yeah.
And chair shots.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Light bulbs. No joke. Yeah, it looks like, oh, it bends too easy. No, you go home, go to Walmart, buy yourself a cookie sheet, hit someone in the head with it, and see how easy it bends. And it still don't feel great.
Right. Yeah, I think there's been a misperception of wrestling through the years. Of course, you know, the winners and stuff are predetermined, but
yeah.
To go out there and fall on a ladder, how do you get your body ready for something like that? It's just you can't.
You know, once it starts going, you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm taking this.
Yep. Yeah, that's part of what we do. And like I said, I mean, you can't just go out there and get hit with chairs and fall on ladders and it feel good. You can't fake falling on a ladder. You're falling on a ladder.
There's no padding on it. It ain't a fucking styrofoam noodle.
Exactly.
A kendo stick.
You're getting hit with it.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Now, depending on who's hitting you with it, they can either be a pussy about it and hold off a lot to just make the sound, or you got people like, oh, let's see, Brandon Hobbs, who would just beat the hell out of you with it.
No, that's true. Out of everybody, I think Brandon Hobbs has given me some of the stiffest shots I've ever had in my entire life. So.
And do you get mad at him? No, because it's
part of what we do.
You're going to get stiff shots, and sometimes you're going to even get full on straight punched in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, here the tag team match against the real ones and me and Boyd. Hey, I literally got slapped in the face by Parsley.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing it. He slapped me. It is what
it's wrestling.
It is what it is. Put on a good show. So there's going to be some real shit in it.
So for you out there that's watching this now, you're like, I mean, whatever, bullshit, wrestling.
Come out here and do it.
Yeah, come here and do it. We'll teach you. We'll teach you how fake it is.
We'll teach you what a suicide dive on some hard ground, or what was the best shot that we had? I think Crush is hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the thumbtacks and table being lit on fire. The goddamn toys that fucking Jackson Law throws on the goddamn mat.
Yeah, the action figures, yeah. Those are no joke.
If you have kids and you step on one in the middle of the night, you already know how bad one hurts.
Just wait until you start taking bumps on Legos.
Like I said, if you have kids, you know how bad one hurts. And just stepping on it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Try taking a whole suplex on top of it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Wrestling's not fake. People are fake. Thank you for joining us here on XCW Freetime Interview. I thank you once again for coming out, hanging out with us for a little bit, talking to the XCW Galaxy, and talking about your perspective on things. Until next time, thank you for joining us. I am Fletch. We will see you next time.